welcome to Occasionally Posh, where we enjoy life, laughs, and shenanigans. I am your girl, Chassie B.
And I am Sunshine. Welcome to another episode.
Woo, woo, woo.
Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't catch it last week, we did part 2 of Church Hurt, and it was amazing. So please go to our Facebook, YouTube, and check us out on most audio podcast platforms to hear that and the other episodes that we have done. And we are approaching 1 year. I have to look exactly what the date is, but we are approaching 1 year of doing this audio video podcast. So one week this month, we're going to have to do something live and special. We'll keep y'all tuned, updated, whatever the word is. All right, but we always start with a foreplay, and Chance to be your first.
Okay. So my foreplay is, would you rather never feel physical pain or never feel emotional pain?
That's hard. I don't like physical pain. But emotional pain usually lasts longer.
Right. Well, depending.
Yeah, it depends. I guess physical pain.
You would never rather feel physical pain. You would never want to feel physical pain.
I don't know though. I done had babies and surgeries. I might be all right. Emotional. You changed my mind.
That's what I'm going with too. I'd rather never feel emotional pain ever again.
Right.
Emotional hurt. Woo! Hurt down deep in your souls.
Yeah, it's rough. And it takes way longer to get over. So yeah, I think I'll pick. Well, for some, it depends on the situation.
Right.
But yeah.
But still, that physical pain, you can take some medicine.
I mean, you can take a drink for that emotional. It won't last forever though. It won't last forever. But you can take
it. This is true. Either
way, you got to figure out a solution to whatever the problem is. So maybe, I don't know.
Outside of the pills and the liquor.
Right. Well, you know, in our careers back in the day, we know plenty of people on a lot of pills.
Right. This is
still didn't matter. I wonder if that was really physical, if it was mentally though. I don't know. That's another conversation for another day.
Right.
This one dude that I had, I don't know if you knew him at Cambridge. I was about to say the name, I shouldn't do that. At this place we used to work at. He was a veteran and he had really bad pain problems, and he was the first person that I learned what methadone was. And I remember that because whenever it was delivered, it didn't come in the regular delivery. Mm-hmm. It came special, and you had to be 21 in order to receive it. I will never forget that. And I was like, what the world is this stuff?
Yep, I think it's the same one. Was he an amputee?
No.
I was thinking about somebody else. Okay, but he had methadone too.
But I will never forget that. I was like, because they said he used to have a drinking problem too. And I really don't understand the whole concept of taking people off drugs to put them on drugs. I don't really.
Child, that's a different story for a different day.
If you a nurse, come on and explain it to us, okay?
That just boggles my mind.
I guess one is the worst of two less of evils, whatever people say, maybe. I don't know. I don't get
it. Yeah, I don't get it. If you are a nurse or a doctor out there that can come on and explain this to us, please do.
Please do. We just had a situation, and I'm not going to go into details. I don't know if I get in trouble for it, but there's a place in North Carolina that kind of got a bad rep. I'm trying to be very careful because they pretty much advertise it. Like, come here and you can get this. We do medicine therapy or something. Like, it's a whole website. And they trying to build, people for it and stuff. But anywho, we're not gonna go there. Let's go on to the next. It's one in Sanford I pass every day. I'm just saying. Anywho, mine is I'm trying to shut up. Mine is, would you rather manipulate or be manipulated?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of the choose the less evil. No, I would rather manipulate than to be manipulated.
Same. insane. I really don't think I could be manipulated, but most of the time when you're being manipulated, you really don't know it.
Right.
I don't think I could, but hey, there's some crazy things that can happen, especially if it's manipulation within a relationship.
Right.
Because you get clouded by that love and lust and, stuff. And
all that, all that stuff that make you sweaty and all that.
Right. Right. But yeah, I agree. I don't really want to manipulate nobody, but like you said, less of the two evils.
Right. I had to choose one. I would rather be the one doing the manipulation.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
I will pray. I will pray whatever I'm manipulating you for is something like lighthearted. Like
that
maybe. Really? Like it might be lighthearted, like something that ain't gonna hurt you down in your deep corners of your soul. Manipulation
in the pits.
If
I'm gonna be doing the manipulation, it's gonna hurt you, baby. It's gonna hurt you.
Lord, she said, "Go hard or go home in these streets." Okay.
Well, they say YOLO.
Oh man. All right. Well, we got an interesting topic tonight, and I'm letting Chassis B take the lead. So go for it.
Woo. So I'm piggybacking off of what Sunshine just said about being manipulated. Oh, sorry, my computer was acting crazy. Being manipulated and or doing the manipulation. And I feel like this right here would be a good lead way into that. Or whatever. So anyway, this topic came from off of A Safe Place Inside Your Head, and they're on Instagram. It's called A Safe Place Inside Your Head. And they had a bunch of interesting topics that I think a lot of people deal with in relationships, whether it's friendships or your significant other or whatever. So the first one was gaslighting. And gaslighting is a manipulation tactic in which a person, in order to gain more power, makes a victim question their own reality or sanity. Have you ever dealt with that?
I don't know. Maybe as you talk about it more, the light bulb, but I don't know yet. I don't know.
So somebody that is a gaslighter, they tell blatant lies. I always try to mess up that word. To or about you, and to and about others. They deny they ever said or did anything, even though you have proof. They make you question your own reality. They use what is near and dear to you as ammunition. They wear you down over time. They throw in positive reinforcement to confuse you. They use confusion to weaken you. They project their own shortcomings or misdeeds onto you. They try to align people against you. They tell you or others that you are crazy. They tell everyone else and tell you everyone else is a liar.
Gaslighting only works when the victim isn't aware of what's going on. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. That's why I didn't read that.
Sorry, my bad. So I know you said within relationships, but as you was reading it, I could think of how that has happened to me in a work environment.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I can't, cause like we have said this before, not just on our podcast, but podcasts that we have guests on, is that it's something about you being a go-getter that bothers people. Like,
oh yeah,
to the point I don't really understand it. Like, whenever I get a job, I don't apply for a job, interview, get hired to be in that position. Like, I'm always trying to figure out what work can I do to move up? Like, what can I do to grow, learn, feed off of people, ask questions, things of that nature. And it always worked in my favor because I'm not afraid to learn new things. I'm not afraid to put my feet out there, put myself out there, things of that nature. And I've worked with some people, and I hate to say this because people probably gonna say I'm discriminating, but especially older women than you who have been there forever. But you swoop in and you start working it, just going at it. They got a problem with it. Like, so as you was reading that, I was thinking of some times where
honey, because that jury was really out there gaslighting.
Honey. Honey, I've had people straight up like, especially when I was in I came straight out of high school and I didn't go straight to college. I went to work. I got my CNAs in high school. So I was like, I'm gonna take a little bit of time, just enjoy life, having no rules, living YOLOing or whatever. And the very first job that I ever got, I started as that CNA, but then I moved up to a med tech, and then next thing you know, I was a receptionist, and then I was over the business office.
Right.
This all happened with like a year and a half. I'm not trying to brag by no means, but all what happened within a year and a half. But so the women who've been working there about 15 years, they said I was messing up their paycheck. I was sleeping with their man. I was disrespecting him, and all this stuff pulling me into the office, reporting it.
I know exactly where that was.
Don't be mad at me because I came in here to work and you didn't. You could have done the same thing I did.
Right. They don't want to. They don't want to. Because I'm pretty sure some of those same people was there whenever I went there many moons later. Mm-hmm. And was still acting the same way because they used to gaslight the hell out of me too.
Right, honey. And we're just straight up like, I mean, you paid it when you call it. I was talking about I'm very disrespectful to you and your man. And we're in a business setting. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? But anywho, I don't want to get too off topic. But anyway.
Why is your man here, ma'am? Anyway.
That part.
So the next one is love bombing. So love bombing is a manipulation tactic that happens when someone overwhelms you with affection, adoration, however you say it, gifts.
Adoration.
Okay. Overwhelms you with affection, adoration, gifts, and love in order to gain control of your behaviors. Someone trying to love bomb you may lavish you with gifts. Mm-hmm. They may give you constant praise and adoration. Mm-hmm. Want to be in constant communication with you. And they get upset when you implement boundaries. Honey, let me tell you, I had a love bombing relationship and it was gifts. Wow. It was straight up gifts. And looking back now, I was like, that's why I was so doggone miserable now that I think about it, because the gifts blinded me.
Well. Can you love bomb with your sexual parts?
You know what? I think yes.
I think so too. As you was reading it, I'm just saying some people get whipped. People be joking about you being peed whipped and deed whipped. Right. I'm trying to get a PG version. But I think it's a real thing.
It is. I don't know if you listen to Jasmine Sullivan. Was it Jasmine Sullivan? Hotels. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's one interlude on there where Ari Lennox is talking. Gosh, I wish I could remember that one. But basically, that's pretty much what she said. Is like his was so good that she didn't care, and all this kind of stuff. And people were saying, you crazy, and she was like, I don't care. That is
amazing. Okay. Amazing.
So yeah, you can definitely love bomb with your genital areas. I never even thought about that. Great job, Sunshine.
My bad. Yeah. My question is like, what is the I mean, I know the answer to this, but when somebody is love bombing, what is the overall goal?
I think like they said, in the thing, it's to gain control.
Okay.
That's what I think. And then I think it's like a type of manipulation. It's also like whenever I think about the time whenever I was love bombed, I think that it came from a point of their insecurity. Mm-hmm. And they was trying to make me feel bad for their insecurity. So they was like, I love you. Why don't you love me the way that I love you? And that's how I like looking back.
You and God, bro. Nah.
But like looking back at it now, I feel like that's what it was. It was like manipulation, and it was their own insecurity.
So do you feel like you can do this and not realize it's a form of manipulation, or do you feel like they know what they're doing? I mean, I'm sure it could go either way, but I'm just saying,
right?
Do you feel like it's an instance where people doing this and just their insecurities just bringing this out of them and they don't realize it?
That's possible. I think it's possible. I'm just trying to like think back to my situation, because like looking back at it, I think that a lot of things that he done was very manipulative, but I don't know that if he was intentionally manipulative or if it was just the insecurity like just taking over, and he was just trying to feel secure in himself. But like he did a lot to like make me feel bad about situations, make me not do things because I didn't want him to feel bad and all that kind of stuff. So I think they don't know.
I ain't gonna say everybody don't know, because some people know what they're doing in these streets, but I know a lot of, especially in our communities, a lot of people don't know how to love, or they grew up around, situations where they didn't see a true love or seeing a toxic love, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like some of these things that do happen can be unintentional. The issue comes in is where you try to tell someone that this is what's happening, and they just saying, "Nah, you tripping." That's the problem.
Right? They're like, "No, but I love you."
Exactly.
Just want to show you I love you. And they said, like I said, they get upset when you implement boundaries. So when you try to tell a love bomber to slow down or implement any kind of boundary with them, they get upset. They can present it. This can present itself as them declaring that you don't care about them or that you don't love them.
That's rough. Which is weird. A lot of people communicate that way. Like, just because I'm telling you something is wrong, that means you don't love me. But if you with someone, and especially if you in it for the long haul, if you're not in for the long haul, it really don't matter.
Right.
But if you're in it for the long haul, why can't we communicate and it not affect or feel like you down in the whole relationship?
Right.
And I feel like all people do that, but I feel like especially, just it's my opinion, men. Like, especially like, honey, you tell them one little thing wrong and
they're like, oh, you don't love me anymore. Sitting over in the corner crying.
Well, I guess everything that I do is wrong, or I can't do nothing right, or you ain't. I'm like, ain't nobody said all that.
I did not say that. I just said that you did Z wrong. You did A through Y right. Z was wrong.
Z was wrong. That's all. Like, calm down. I did not say you was a bad person. I just said clean, get your clothes off the floor. That's all I said.
I can't take a bath. You want me to walk around in funky drawers.
Oh man. Anywho, next.
So the next one is the guilt trip. Guilt tripping behavior often shows up in close relationships, romantic partnerships, friendships, professional relationships, or family relationships. Someone trying to guilt trip you may point out their own efforts and hard work to make you feel as if you've fallen short, make sarcastic or passive-aggressive remarks about the situation, ignore your efforts to talk about the problem, give you the silent treatment, deny their irration, though their actions tell you otherwise, show no interest in doing anything to improve their situations themselves, use body language to communicate their displeasure by sighing, crossing their arms, or slamming objects down. Calling out guilt tripping when you notice it is one of the most effective ways to combat it.
I need to do that now. I got this work chick, bro. Woo! I was talking about her today. I was like, I can't stand that passive aggressive attitude. It's like she always play that role of I'm a clueless victim.
Oof.
And I can't.
Ooh. I can't stand that.
I can't either.
That.
And then make these little like side, like don't say it directly to you, like make these little side sarcastic marks.
Like, must
like,
be
shit.
Nice. Yes, bitch, it is nice. It is nice. Doggone it.
I just can't. But I feel like everybody has played the guilt trip. Like
that's what I was going to say.
If we being real, we all done this sometime, form, fashion, another, somewhere.
I done it on my kids recently.
We have all done it.
I know I'm guilty of it.
But I mean, but for the most part, if you somebody with a little, if you said in reality, I'm trying to be careful with my words. If you said in reality, for the most part, when you playing that role.
Right.
It's the people who be like, I ain't do that.
Really? Yes, you did. You did. That's why they say you should call them out whenever they're doing it. Right there in the moment.
My problem is it depends on who they are and where you at. Because how I might call you out, Chas B. I might can't do that at work. I'll be fired. Okay. I might be fired.
You know what? I don't know.
How do you call somebody out on this in a professional setting when you're not their boss, manager, supervisor?
I don't know, because I probably wouldn't, like, if they push me to the point where I'm just like over it. I don't care who's the boss, secretary, president, CEO. I'm going to call you out on your BS. Right. And I think sometimes like you could like just lay down like, this is what was done. This is what you done. This is how it's supposed to, like
right.
Straight by the book type of thing. Like, this is what we said we was going to do. This is what you said you was going to do. This is what you did not do. And this is what you're claiming that you did not do.
Right. It's just harder for people like, I know people hate for us to pull this card, but for a Black woman, we get seen so much as the angry Black woman that it's hard to find when you're in a corporate setting. Like, I work for a corporate operation, like it's hard to find that thin line. At least for me, like, because I don't want one person to take me there and I'm pulled into the office, but at the same time, you're not about to play me either. Like, so it's hard to find that little line without getting in trouble.
One of the things that I've been trying to do is like absolutely forget about that whole angry Black lady, because why is it that my Caucasian counterparts can get angry and say whatever is on their mind, but I have to hold back because I don't want to be perceived as angry? If you perceive me as angry, that is you. I'm just stating facts on how I feel or what is going on in this situation. And if you feel that I'm coming off angry, that's your own perception. That's not mine.
You're right.
It's hard, but we got to try to do it because it's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not at all. And I actually work for a pretty diverse company, so that probably wouldn't be the issue, but it's just embedded in my brain that and that's just, I mean, even growing up, I've had people tell me in my family, you got to be careful how you respond to people. You got to be careful how you show yourself and things of that nature. And that's more taught to us in our communities than it is to other people. Other people are taught, be yourself, be free, be whatever. So it's hard to like get out of that old school mentality of we are all equals, because number one, it ain't always the case. And number two, we were taught to shut up.
Right. for years. And it's hard to like just because we're adults, be like, I'm not gonna live like that anymore, because that's what was embedded in our heads. Like,
right. Exactly.
Totally understand. All right. So the next one is nagging. So nagging is when a person tries to manipulate you into feeling bad about yourself. Nagging happens in a few different ways. So they give backhanded compliments. Well, don't you look fabulous? I would never be brave enough to wear my hair like that.
I hate that.
With your face shape. Honey, I want to speak on that one first. Like, I want to stop right there, because I do not understand why whenever a plus size woman wears an outfit, people say, I like your confidence. Why do you have to say that?
I done heard it. I done been that woman. Oh man, you brave. I like that. I wish I had your
confidence.
Your confidence, or you pretty for a big girl. That is so not a compliment. Like,
right. So drop them backhanded compliments. And I've been guilty of it in the past and didn't realize that it sounded backhanded until like now I got older, and I'm like, that was so stupid to say.
Right.
So, live and learn, people. Live and learn. If you're gonna give a compliment, give a compliment. Just say, that looks good. Mm-hmm. Don't say, I wish I had the confidence to wear that. Just tell the person they look
good. Be done with it. Right.
Keep it moving. Okay. They compare you to other people. Your sister is in such great shape. You should take a cue from her and start working out. I wish the hell somebody would tell me that.
The disrespect.
And then the next one is, they're always just joking when you call them on it. Lighten up. Where's your sense of humor? It was just a joke.
I don't mean no harm. I keep hating to bring race in this, but white men are bad for that. Please don't. Ooh, I'm just saying. I never heard that said to me but I have heard it so much. Like, oh, I'm just joking, dude. Lighten up. Like, no, that was no. Fix your mouth.
Honey, yes. Yes. Didn't even think about that, but yes, they are the worst.
And bullies will do that too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The bully that I was thinking about is a white man. But anyway,
look at that. Very fitting. All right.
They insult you under the disguise of constructive criticism. Y'all cannot read today. That report was terrible, but the subject is completely over your head after all. They don't even sound like a constructive criticism.
They just sound rude. Okay.
Right. That was just the insult altogether. That wasn't even constructive criticism. Right. Okay. They disguise insults as questions. Don't take this the wrong way, but are you really going to eat all that by yourself? Yes, I'm going to eat all these tacos by myself. I know, I just ordered $6 tacos.
I didn't say it quite like that, but I did say, I'm saying, you really gonna eat all that? You said, sure is. But hey, what I said ain't what you say, is how you say it.
Right. And then they make you feel sorry for voicing concerns by minimizing their mistreatment.
Make you feel like you tripping.
Right.
You being paranoid, you whatever. Like, it took me a long time to understand this, but one thing I was taught growing up in the church is that sometimes what you do may not be wrong per se, but if it hurt that person's feelings, it's wrong. Mm-hmm. And I used to be like, they just need to get it together. I mean, it ain't my fault they took it wrong. Mm-hmm. But the more I grow up, the more I understand that. So as you read that, like, they make you feel sorry for voicing your concerns by minimizing their mistreatment. Just because you felt like it wasn't wrong doesn't mean you shouldn't be like, that it wasn't my intention. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings. Right. And I feel like as grown people, we need to take more accountability for what we do.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get preachy.
No, that was good, girl. This one, emotional blackmail.
Nay.
So emotional blackmail is a dysfunctional form of manipulation that people use to place demands and threaten victims to get what they want. The undertone of emotional blackmail is, if you don't do what I want when I want it, you will suffer. The emotional blackmailer typically does not have any other coping or go-to methods for how to communicate and interact in a healthy manner. They fall back to stonewalling, slamming doors, threatening, and engaging in other damaging behaviors to get what they want. They typically do not have the tools available to understand how to convey their needs. So some examples of an emotional blackmailer, is if you ever stop loving me, I will kill you.
Kill
Okay.
myself.
Okay, kill myself.
If you die, key. No.
I've already discussed this with our pastor or whatever, and they agree that you are being unreasonable.
Please.
I'm taking this vacation with or without you. I don't think that's emotional blackmail, but okay. Whatever.
I mean, I can see it.
I guess it depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, it depends on the conversation.
How can you say you love me and still be friends with them?
Honey, I done heard that before.
That one. And that right there just goes down to even friendships, because some people feel like just because I don't like somebody that they can't be friends with them, but I don't necessarily feel like that.
You can be your own person, honey. You can be
right.
Your own
and
person.
Just because I was listening to something one day and somebody was like, why would you be friends with somebody that hurt me like that? But my thing is, I'm pretty sure everybody done hurt somebody in their life. So why are we friends with anybody at the end of the day?
Right.
And just because somebody treats you one way doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to treat the next person that way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like emotional blackmail is definitely real. For especially in abusive type relationships, I can definitely see that being, the case. Yeah. You see, it's definitely a bad form of manipulation at the end of the day. All of this is bad forms of manipulation.
Right. My computer is acting crazy today. Okay. So then it says the mental impact of manipulation. Someone who is the victim of manipulation may feel depressed, develop anxiety, develop unhealthy coping patterns, constantly try to please the manipulative person, lie about their feelings, put another person's needs before their own, find it difficult to trust others. In some cases, manipulation can be persuasive that it causes a victim to question their perception of reality.
Facts.
Pure 100 facts.
I done felt bullet A, B, C, E.
All of the above.
All of them. Okay.
All of them.
I ain't gonna say I constantly try to please. I ain't gonna say I ain't never tried to please a manipulative person, but I definitely make my breaking point. Like F them. I ain't gonna say that I'm saying F them and I'm gonna leave them alone, but it's levels to it. It's levels to it.
Through your feelings, doggone it. I'm over here eating this Hostess Debbie cake.
Yeah.
Because of you.
Thanks.
I want a cake now. I want a cheesecake. Okay.
I have cheesecake, but I'll take a cake. You can have the cheesecake part.
All right. So how to deal with manipulative people? Disengage. So if someone is trying to get a particular emotional response from you, choose not to give it to them. For example, if a manipulative friend is known to flatter you before asking for a favor, don't play along. Rather, reply politely and shift the conversation.
Nay, I've done that. That just happened to me last week. I got promoted at work, and only about 2 to 3 people said congratulations. But then as soon as somebody needed something from me, oh, congratulations on your promotion. And by the way, I need you to do this.
But then say congratulations in the midst of it.
Honey, bye. Bye.
Look, congratulations. Do you need an assistant?
Right. Sometimes it's hard to disengage though. Like sometimes when somebody's trying to bring emotions out of you, you may not give the emotional response that they wanted from that, but it's hard to be like, okay, I'm not gonna let them take me there. I'm just gonna move on or disengage. Like you gonna get them emotional response. Okay.
Right. Right. But sometimes it's just all in the face. It's that facial response, like, bitch, you got me. What is it? Okay. All right. So the next one is how to deal with the manipulative people is be confident. Sometimes manipulation may include one person's attempt to cause another person to doubt their abilities, intuitions, or even reality. This can wear us down over time and actually cause us to question these things in ourselves. If this happens often in a close relationship, it is probably best to step away. And I had that where I was questioning my abilities and I was like, maybe I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how that is.
Yeah. Or questioning yourself, like, even though they're the one that the problem, you trying to make it, you start feeling like you're the problem.
Right.
That happens a
Maybe
lot.
it's me. Maybe it's me.
That happens a lot, especially if they got all these things together wrapped in one. Like if you got somebody love bombing you, but then manipulating you like to this degree at the same time.
Right.
Like, especially in relationships for women, we start telling ourselves, well, he does do this and he does do that, and he's real good at this, even though ain't none of it healthy. Right. But in your mind, you like, I'm not gonna get this nowhere else, so I might as well just take this good and bad together, even though it's all bad. But
it's 90% bad. It's only 10% good.
Right. But in our mind, we like, ain't nobody else gonna buy me a Gucci bag every month, or ain't nobody else gonna watch my kids while I go out with the girls, or ain't nobody else gonna, you know what I'm saying? We get that in our mind, and then we just like, this is the best I can do.
Right. And then society, so like the internet and then society, the way that they view things, it makes you, the society is very manipulative as a whole. The internet is very manipulative as a whole. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that's why a lot of people, even if they're in relationships that they probably need to get out of, it's hard for them to get out of because of what everybody portrays a relationship to be, and they be lying.
Right. You right.
So then another way to deal with manipulative people, address the situation, call out the manipulative behavior as it's happening, keeping the focus on how the other person's actions are affecting you rather than starting with an accusatory, I got it right, accusatory statement may also help you reach a resolution while emphasizing that their manipulative tactics won't work on you.
Do you really feel like addressing it in the moment works all the time? Mm-mm. Like, I know people say that, like, nip it in the bud. That's what you hear, nip it in the bud. But sometimes if you're at a certain emotional point of a conversation or argument or disagreement, you ain't heard nothing nobody said. Mm-mm. The problem is, I know for me in particular, and I'm sure for other people, the problem is finding that equal balance of when you are supposed to address it. Like, it's very easy to just be like, this happened yesterday, but now we good today. Let's not talk about it.
Right.
And
I don't think that right there is good. I was listening to some podcast. I can't remember whose podcast it was, but they had couples therapist on there, and they had asked him, like, whenever you're in a disagreement with your partner or having an argument or whatever, how long should you wait before you have that conversation? Mm-hmm. And he said 30 minutes. And when I listened to it, I was like, 30 minutes, bullshit, because I'm still mad. Right. I'm still in my feelings. But it kind of makes sense to go ahead and have it. I wouldn't say 30 minutes, but I think within like that 24-hour time span, it needs to be had. And right. I think too often we are all guilty of, okay, it's okay now, so we're not going to have this conversation.
Right.
Because I know I was very, very guilty. And then whenever I finally get to like my breaking point, I'm bringing up shit from 6 months ago.
Honey, that part. They don't even know what you talking about. I done done that.
What are you talking about? You remember May the 23rd, 2017. I wrote it down right here. You left the dishes on the counter.
That part.
So then, okay, so then the next slide, you're not alone. Here are a few ways that you can help yourself. Trust your gut. If you feel like you are being manipulated, try to trust your feeling. Many times manipulators can make us question our own reality. Try to harness how you're feeling. Do this by keeping a journal if you can to express your own feelings. Reach out to a professional, which is something that we say all the time. Call the lady.
Call the
The
lady.
lady.
Out to the lady.
It says sharing your emotions with someone who can help you process and validate what you are going through can help you see light in even the darkest of times. And it's very important that you speak to a therapist or a professional rather than speaking to your friends, because although friends are sometimes openly honest with each other, sometimes we still be like, girl, you know you right. You right. And they be wrong.
Right. But sometimes friends just give bad advice overall. Like, it's not that they mean to, it's not that they trying to take your side. They just give bad. I mean, let's just be real. Like, we just either we haven't been in that situation or we currently in that situation ourselves or whatever the case may be, and we have a skewed view.
Right.
So, I mean, it might help you in the moment. Like, yeah, my girl's got my back. But it's like when people say, like, you go to your single friends to get married advice, which I don't agree with that, but that's just an example of how, I mean, you know, Chastity could give me advice to an extent, but she's never been married. So it's some things I can't always get from her.
Right.
Gotta be
and I'd be like, girl, I don't know.
Right.
I'd be like, do you want the single advice?
But a lot of people are not like you. A lot of people would just give advice anyway, even though they know it's not their avenue. So it's just bad advice, like overall.
Right.
So definitely, yes, reach out, talk to the lady. Okay.
Talk to the lady. And then it also has a text thing that you can text to. We ain't sponsored by them, so I ain't gonna read it because I don't know.
Stop sharing. No.
And then it also says confide in someone you trust. The benefits of confiding in someone in your life are twofold. You can find an ally in your corner to process what you're going through, and you can spend some quality time away from the person who is manipulating you. Try to build a core group of people who you know will always have your back. So even those friends that sometimes give the bad advice, they are still some good outlets for that moment, but you should still also reach out to a professional.
Facts. That's all some really good information.
It is.
I also want to, maybe we can bring it up next time, but I want to do they have any like virtual test or something that you can take to know if you're being gaslighted, I wonder, or love bombed, or maybe some resources we need to Google and bring to the next podcast.
Yeah, that's something we can look up. And if y'all see something, let us know. Because it'd be good to take that test to see if I'm a gaslighter or a love bomber. I ain't no love bomber. I ain't ready to tell you I love you too many times. You ain't saying it back to me, doggone it.
It ain't gonna always be that they not saying it back. Sometimes they saying it back, but they may be in their mind like, all right, I done told you 25 times ago. It ain't changed in these 25 times.
Like, I just love you. It's just like whenever you be kissing on your babies when you got a newborn and you like, I just love you. And the baby's like,
Honey, Jackson be tired of me. I be, kids, give me kids. Come here, give me kids. Come on, baby. I be doing it all the time. I know he be tired of me.
They just be like, really, mama? Yeah, really. All right. So that's it for that.
Yeah. That was good information. Anybody has any insight on any of the information, please let us know. Again, if you are a nurse, doctor, nurse practitioner, specialist, or whatever on some of these topics of manipulation or whatever we was talking about earlier.
Gaslighting, love bombing.
Yeah, all that stuff, let us know. and it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
I thought that it was going to be longer than that. I should have sent some more stuff.
Yeah, it went by fast.
Right. It was less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when I'm in control. It's less than an hour.
Oh, what you trying to say, huh? What you trying to say? Well, I guess we'll just let it be. I was trying to see if I could find something right quick. We'll let it be a short episode.
Oh, go ahead and find something.
No. I'll let it be short this week. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. We may be live next week on our Facebook page. We figure out what we're doing. But make sure to go follow us on our Facebook page, our Instagram page. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I know I say this every week. Please rate us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart,
everything.
Pandora.
We need y'all's validation.
If y'all don't,
if y'all don't give us 5 stars, that means that y'all don't love us. And y'all
manipulation at its best. Example A. But yeah, just let us know. Also, if you want to be a guest on our podcast, let us know. You can hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email us at occasionallyposh@gmail.com. So thank you, and bye-bye.